All right, I think we're good to go. It's not really official. All
Well, I
right.
guess I'm running the meeting.
I thought you were.
I know, I forgot all about it. Can I see your agenda, young man?
The chair.
Can we share it? All right, so call to order. What time have we got?
On the wall.
Roll on. You want it, Mikey? 7:01. And add Eddie. Anybody else put Eddie on the Zoom?
I think he's it,
He's the only one we, well, unless Bill was on it, but.
And Professor Asimovic. Anybody get a look at the minutes? I think I provided them.
Yes, yep, I have so they're in the folder right there.
All right,
Yeah, last month's meeting.
Yep.
yeah,
I did not see those. You have copies and then,
I'm good.
yeah, Jeremy.
You want 1, 2,
Thanks. We'll see you, Fisher.
Uh-oh, we could have that changed.
Future reference.
I should know better by seeing the signs around town.
You should. It shouldn't be a shock at all. Come on.
Sorry about that. So, if we take the H out of Fisher, everything else look okay?
Take the C out of Fisher would be
Take the
better.
C out of Fisher.
That'd be even better.
All right.
Alright, so you
Get the H out of
Put
Fisher.
the right guy in here.
I don't know.
From now on, we won't make mistakes.
Yeah, sure.
No more mistakes.
What else you got?
The wrap of the last meeting. I think that was a meeting we had with Mikey, right?
Yeah.
We did a fantastic job.
I wasn't here, but what was Justin the Journal doing?
He's a baseball guy, right?
Who is?
Justin Moderno? Was he the baseball guy?
Yeah, he's
Somebody was after me, I wasn't there, so.
He kind of talked about Little League with us.
Thinking they're gonna have anybody?
You know, we're thinking maybe we combine with other towns is what we're talking about.
Yeah, James mentioned got a meeting with.
Justin Nadera showed up?
What that says, Carl?
Bill, yeah, admit him. Bill Billyak, maybe,
Keeping over on the right.
Yeah, I think.
top,
Bill.
he bailed out.
Oh, I hit admit, I think, right?
You did. I saw you squinting there, Jimmy.
I should have put my glasses
You deleted him.
He may have bailed out himself. But we'll wait and see if he comes back. I think that was Bill Billyak. So what do we think about minutes?
I'm with me.
With the change in Stu's last name spelling, I make a motion to accept the minutes. I'll second. Very
There
good.
you go.
All right, general discussion. Anyone here for general discussion? Carl, are you gonna give us an update on the,
I am.
okay, and that's coming down the road? So I guess there is no general discussion. Does that sound right? Then next is Jimmy, Director's Report.
All right, so to start off, I just want to give an update on the adult over 30 basketball. We started signups for that. Program begins November 19th and it runs into June. I switched up a little bit, how Alan ran it last year. I'm having the participants prepay with the registration, just a set fee instead of the drop-in. I spoke to the coordinator last year and he was saying that participation dipped towards the end, last couple months of the season. So the way I'm thinking is if somebody, if you prepay for the $65 for residents or $75 for non-residents, you'll be more inclined to see it out than.
Like fishing experience.
Not-
That's okay though, you got the money in the front end.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But when it's warm, everybody just has other things going on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, trust me.
So hopefully we'll get some good participation with that. Update on winter camp, so I'm gonna start promoting that in the next week or so. Kelly Sullivan, who was our summer camp director, and Bill's not here anymore, Kyle Billyak, who was a summer camp counselor, they will both be back to run the winter camp. Hopefully taking place at the library, so looking forward to that. Quick update on the basketball signups. So we have 44 signups now, up from the 7 last month. Looking at one team per age group, minus the girls 7-8 team. Signups are really light there. I'm gonna continue to promote it on Facebook and through the school system. I extended the deadline to November 3rd, and I'm planning on extending it to the 10th for any last minute signups. So I got a lot of signups the past couple days, so I'm thinking, the next weeks
Yeah.
we'll get a lot more.
How's the number compare to last year?
So it seems that the last year's binder was misplaced, so I'm going off 2 years ago. And it's relatively the same. What's a good sign is we have a lot of.
I texted Bill to see if he could get back in. That's admit. Let's see. Maybe he had a bad connection. I don't know.
Bill and Julie.
Is there a pending question, gentlemen?
Now, we're trying to get Bill Billyak on the show.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to talk to me or something. I couldn't hear.
That's joining.
Okay.
He's probably gonna hit some buttons.
All right, we'll wait and see if Bill shows up. If not, keep going.
A good sign though is the instructional program has a good number of signups. 15, I think we're at 15 or 16 now, so I'm hoping for 20 total, and that'll be good as they, continue to get older and rise through the ranks. So that's a positive sign.
I like that.
How many high school kids?
We haven't opened that one up yet. That's us and Sherry, so it should be coming out soon. We wait till EO Smith is done with their tryouts to try
Oh,
to get
yeah.
the most possible. Still no luck with Bill.
He's trying.
So the next bus trip, registration closes on the 15th for a day on your own in New York. That takes place November 2nd. Still trying to get some signups for that. I've been promoting with the flyers and on the Facebook and website. I'm probably gonna have Chris go out and put up some flyers at some local businesses for that too.
You may want to offer body armor.
It's got,
You wanna go back?
An update on the tree lighting. So I decided to move the date to December 8th. The Hall School Chorus has an event on the 1st, so we want them there. And if we try it, their families will be at the event, their friends will be at the event, so we want the most possible there.
The time on that?
7 to 8. I attended the Historical Society meeting on October 17th, just to introduce myself and take a tour of the tavern. So I'm looking forward to working with the Historical Society for that event. I reached out to Santa Glenn. I'm waiting on his availability. So we're gonna go back to Santa Glenn. I think it was a different Santa last year, but Santa Glenn has got a lot of good reviews here in town, so we're gonna go back to him. And then I'm also working with the PTA and Girl Scouts for having them attend with activities. I also have to reach out to the Boy Scouts and get them involved too. So things are looking good for the tree lighting. Any questions on anything so far? I'm going kind of bad.
No, you're great. Perfect, it's perfect.
So I have some updates on the River Road Athletic Complex. Public Works installed the Sean Kennedy Memorial Bench in between the playground and the pavilion, so that came out really nice. Debbie Kennedy was really happy. I took down the blue tarp that was on the backstop fence at the baseball field. It had kind of fallen, and my original plan was to put it back up, but it was just torn up too bad beyond repair. So instead of having, it sagging draped down, I decided just to take it all off and go that route. And then I attended the PTA's trunk or treat on the 27th. There was a great turnout. It was awesome seeing all the families, playing bocce, playing all the games.
Have you had somebody on the bocce court?
Yes,
Excellent.
a lot of people, and not even at the event, just doing the trashes. I see people testing it out, and it's been a hit so far. So
That's good to hear.
it's awesome.
Did we have anything to do with trunk or treat, or was there another?
The PTA ran it, but yeah,
It looked like a huge turnout.
it was
Huge,
Saw pictures on Facebook.
packed.
huge.
That's beautiful.
And then I was able to hand out some basketball registration forms there too, so I'll consider it a win for us.
Oh, there he is again.
That's great.
He's in the waiting room.
All you have to do is hit submit to get Eddie in, right?
Yeah. At least it'll be on YouTube if he's not able to get it.
Yeah.
And just finishing up with the trunk or treat, it was great. I was able to reconnect with some of the families from summer camp and say hello and introduce myself to some new families that I haven't met yet, so it was awesome. Let's see, so one of my final things, I'm having Chris Kelly update the calendar on our website. It's been looking pretty bare, so I figured I'd have him go through and compile a list of just programs when the yoga's taking place, when adult basketball is taking place, registration deadlines and stuff like that. So just it's easier for people to find if they want to see what we're up to.
And he'll put the tree trimming night on there. And all that. Cool.
Yep. So last couple of things, I was contacted by Futsal Street Soccer. And I'm looking into running a program with them in the springtime. It's like it's not soccer, it's like a smaller team soccer. Bill, if Bill was able to get on, he'd probably be able to give us a good description, but
Bill's shoveling coal into his phone to make it work.
Maureen and Bethany had looked into the program previously, and they have a really big presence in central Connecticut, Enfield, Summers, and it seems like they're trying to move out here. And according to Bethany's notes, we would get 10 to 15% of the profits for the program, and they would run everything. So I'm going to keep looking into that for sure.
Played on a regular soccer field?
They could, from my quick phone call with the gentleman who runs it, you could do it at gym, you could do it on a field. You know, it's a smaller version of soccer that focuses more on like skills and development and the fancy footwork like that.
So we're not charging on field costs, they're just gonna get a percentage of the growth.
I'd have to look into that more. It depends if it would be in the high school or at our field. But that's based off of Bethany's notes. So I'm gonna look some more into it as we get closer to spring.
How do you spell it? F-O-O-T-S-A-L-L?
Futsal.
Trying to admit again. I don't know. Oh. Are you there, Bill? Good accent.
How do you sign words?
I don't know it.
It's gotta be
I
there.
should know it after watching politics on TV all the time. Now he's got a signer.
Say, man.
He's connecting. Give him a chance. He's getting close. There he is. Look at that handsome man.
There we go.
Hello, Bill.
Can you hear us, Bill?
Oh, yeah. You gotta unmute.
Hello, Bill.
Yeah, he's unmuted. All right, so we're good. You can add him to the tally.
Oh,
For quorum. Yes,
I'll put intermittent bill.
intermittent Bill. Okay, all good.
and then my last thing is, I'm looking forward to collaborating with the human services director when one's hired. I've been brainstorming some program ideas to collaborate on. You know, I'd like to partner with them for some Thanksgiving activities. I know Alan last year did the scavenger hunt at the parks. So I might do that again, and then we'll see if we can conjure up some additional stuff when somebody's hired.
Are they actively pursuing somebody right now?
Yeah, I sat in on 3 of the interviews,
Oh, terrific.
so they were all good candidates, so looking forward to it.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That is everything that I have written down. So if anyone has any questions.
Gentlemen,
Question.
how you feeling about the job so far?
Very good. I'm loving it, and you know, just keep on focusing on building.
You've
That's,
done some good things already. I think that little bocce court, that turned out to be something good.
I would like, in the, you know, when it gets nicer, learn how to play bocce.
Start a league. You know, a lot of old Italian men, you're gonna have to learn to speak Italian.
Yeah, go to Stafford, you find some old Italian guys.
Oh, yeah, sure you will. And there's, the balls are there, the equipment's there,
Yep.
right?
And then I forget if I mentioned this at the last meeting, but I printed out a little, how to play bocce and, laminated it, and that's in the box too, so.
Oh, that's perfect.
People show up, they can, it's nice and easy, one page, and just basics of the rules, so they can.
What do you call the little ball?
A word I can't pronounce.
Pauline.
What is it?
Pauline?
Like a woman's name, Pauline.
I don't think it's spelled that way.
It might be a W or something.
I don't know, that's how they say it.
I didn't know that.
That's the little guy.
Maybe in the winter we can freeze it and do curling.
Chris is a big proponent of that, he brought that up a couple
Really?
times. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, very good. Director's report, old business, Willington Little League revival discussion is this you?
So I have some information on that, I have I think there's a couple of emails floating around, so I reached out. Just to give you a timeline, first, Jay O'Keefe from Mansfield Park and Rec reached out to me just to see, you know, what the fields are looking like, and I kind of broached the question to him, what do we have to do to get, you know, made official in the Mansfield Ashford Little League. And he directed me to the president, so I think the email's floating around, but John, and that's just what he had to say to me. It seems like it's a lot in District 12's hands. And what else did he say? So there is an at-large position for Willington that's not occupied on the Mansfield Ashford board. So I set up a meeting with him. I'm meeting with John tomorrow at 10 at River Road, just to see what, you know, what needs to be done, what we can do to help make things official. And
The challenging part is gonna be to find a volunteer for Willington, whether it's a parent.
Yeah.
To be the point of contact, to be part of that board.
so it's funny that you mentioned that, because I spoke to Peter Bacon today. He's involved, his son plays Little League, and he seemed open to representing Willington on the Little League board over there. And he spoke about the challenges of getting volunteers if we tried to build the program up back to a Willington only league. He says that would be very tough, so I'm gonna CC him on my emails with John going forward, just so they can connect and
I think there are a lot of benefits to being combined. I know other sports, you know, football and others, you know, they call it WHAM, right?
Yeah.
Ashford, Mansfield, so. There's benefits because you have a larger pool of kids, you can build teams, you don't have to like try to put 2 teams together with 9 kids only. The downside is you know, for the tournament, you know, how do you pick up them? So it's gonna be a limited number of kids, but what we always struggled with in Willington to put a tournament team together is to get 12 committed kids that would be there, which it always fell through.
yeah.
So at least now, kids would have an opportunity, you know, to participate in something like that because they're a larger.
And I think if it would become official of us joining Mansfield and Ashford, they'd have to redesign, because right now their logo is an M and an A, so they probably go with the WHAM type, logo, and, you know, ideally we'd get some promotion on the jerseys too, so our kids wouldn't have to be wearing Mansfield Ashford with no Willington. So I'm excited to meet with him tomorrow, and I'll be sure to update everyone here what he has to say.
That's great. Who's the dad that's willing to be the liaison?
Peter Bacon.
Hopefully his kid's not 12 and this is his last year.
Yeah.
So did you have a farm league here ever? Because
Well,
that's really important too.
so it started,
That's
yeah,
your-
it
that's
started
your-
with T-ball, right? You start with the kindergarten age, 5 years old. T-ball and then the farm league from 9 to 12. Right?
Hmm.
And then, you know, minors and majors.
I was very involved in Ellington. And I had 2 sons, so I followed through. Rich Delapenna ran that, you might know Rich, he's a pretty dedicated guy, been doing it for 25 years.
That's what it takes. You need somebody that's willing.
He just won't let it go, we're happy.
But it takes a lot of work because
It does,
even, you know, with the board, you gotta have you know, fundraising, coaches, maintenance, you know, getting the fields, buying the fields, buying equipment at the start of every year. You know, somebody in charge of uniforms, getting whether you do uniforms every, you know, or just t-shirts. There's quite a bit to all the paperwork, you need a treasurer.
So a lot of that stuff is probably established though already in.
Right, so yeah, it would be a lot, you know, it would be an additional amount of work, so, you know, you need more than one volunteer for Willington now, but at least, you know, if you got one liaison, that's guy that's willing to be the point, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Start with the guy,
Just be great to
The right
see some
guy.
games again down in the river.
really important.
This field's probably got.
This gentleman is taking it.
Yeah.
We got a closet full of equipment somewhere, bats.
Oh God, it's been so long.
Has to be
I think
right.
it's all
It's in that shed at River Road out
just sitting
back.
there melting away,
Yeah, you said, we used to store everything here.
yeah,
Woodchuck's keeping an eye on
That's good.
A little bit of that's just.
it's good somebody is.
Be nice to use the concession stand too. We had a couple of
It
games.
would.
So if they do a half a dozen games here or 3 or 4
it.
games,
They put that batting cage that we're gonna tear down, and I don't think I've ever seen them use it.
well, maybe we can start using it. That's gonna come down for your project, right?
They're done.
That batting cage.
I've been thinking about that, maybe not.
All right.
I think that, you know, the more I looked at it, a lot of the posts are sitting up above ground level.
Oh,
And we're only, you know, literally putting anywhere from 0 to 1.5 feet down in a new area, so I'm thinking we'll be able to work around that, take the netting down, obviously. But we should be able to work around the posts.
that would be it.
So that would save us an awful lot.
I'll be able to put, if we do go above the pad, we might be able to just put another collar.
Yeah, it would only be a very small amount.
They're like.
Yeah.
They never pull those out anyway, they stay.
No, they're permanent.
Did you ever have a pitching machine?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, thanks to Joey here, we did indoor clinics.
Yeah.
and,
we had a few of those winter clinics. They were great.
Sure, I agree.
A
Bucket
lot-
balls and a pitching machine.
Then we did fall ball with baseball.
That ball was the best. That was the most fun, I thought. Double header every Saturday for a little while.
All right. No pressure.
Yeah, it was no pressure.
Yeah, it was fun.
Actually, when we did it, our kids were pretty good, so they were beating everybody up. It was fun. Nothing beats winning.
So I wrote water, which is probably new business, but we gotta get some water down at that field as we pursue the drinking water. As we
Oh.
pursue
Potable water.
potable water, as we pursue these other endeavors.
I did notice, I was there. I forget why I was down there, but I was there a little while ago and when they were putting that bench together, Jimmy, and they were pumping water out of our well. So that got fixed?
So it had to be turned on from inside by there's a
Yeah.
handle in there. So it was working. I wasn't sure if it was broken in the past, but water was coming out.
All right,
I thought I needed a pump.
not a pump. There was a crack in a pipe underground. You know how like there's a handhole, a manhole?
Yeah,
There's a crack down there.
maybe it was putting enough out for him, but still filling the manhole.
Probably, could be.
Like,
But we talked about Stevens coming back there and fixing it. Actually, one of the public works guys thought it wouldn't be a big deal to fix, just have to make a hole in the floor.
you probably would hear that, though, if it was squirting out of a crack, you probably hear the pipe hissing.
You made an access hole in that floor,
It was
didn't
all
you?
on the floor.
Okay,
Has that water ever been tested?
Yes.
it is water, we found that out.
It's wet.
We had it tested a long time ago when we put the well in. And it's quite a yield. It's around
Yeah.
30 gallons a minute. So I mean, the bottom of it is sitting in an aquifer, so it's pretty good.
Plenty of water.
Did they test it for potability?
I believe that we did, but you know, it wasn't followed up on. So anything you do now, you're gonna have to go to the health department.
Yeah, I remember there was gonna be a lot of red tape, remember?
I think it was gonna be an annual thing too, every year. you
Yeah.
did it.
Oh, it has to be checked out on a
Kids
consistent
are
basis.
gonna drink
And
it.
somebody has to be in charge of it too. Yeah, so.
Easy. Don't give them too much, to do. We don't want them going away.
That's not too much.
So the testing these days is getting pretty expensive because I do a lot of work for water utilities and, you know, we used to work in parts per million and parts per. Now we're down to parts per trillion for the PFAS stuff.
Wow,
So that's one drop in an Olympic sized swimming pool.
that's crazy.
No more just holding it up.
Wait, and Damon Two of them.
Yeah, evil twin brother.
Yeah, that's no good. That's at home, only at home.
Good enough.
All right, any more Little League discussion?
That's all I have. I can, I'll update everybody after my meeting tomorrow though.
Good job.
If it starts to look real, maybe we, come spring, get down into that shed and see what we got.
We did use,
Yeah.
we used some of the, there were like, shovels and stuff. We used some of the stuff in there for, to help out Michael.
Okay.
When he was putting it in, and I put everything back. So there's some good stuff.
Okay, great. That's good news. And do we still have that little machine to do the base paths?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to look again. Stuff's pretty packed in, pretty tight.
I think that was being kept out here in this shed.
Oh, the tractor?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, so that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
You used to bring your tractor down and drag a screen behind it.
Yeah, I got rid of that tractor. Certainly for 30 years, and that was about it.
That's pretty good.
We do have a, just to piggyback off that, we have a leaf blower over in the concession stand now. I had an old one that was collecting dust, so I brought it over and I've been, whenever somebody rents the pavilion, I'll go over the Thursday before and just.
Oh, that's great.
Place some of the leaves down.
Thank you. That's pretty good against.
It's thoughtful.
All right, I think it's River Road time. You're on.
Okay. So I've made contact finally with Mike D'Amato, from planning and zoning here, but it's a bit spotty because he doesn't spend a lot of time here apparently. But I got some feedback on both planning and zoning and wetlands. And I'll just read it off to you. He says, I gave him the latest set of prints that I had. I don't think that the overall project will require any PZC approval. But what I do think may create a compliance issue is the lighting, as it may not be compliant with our lighting standards. And the easiest solution here might be to just obtain a variance. So that's for planning and zoning. I don't know exactly what that means, because they're going back and forth, but I can't seem to reach him by phone, so I'm gonna keep trying and see what that entails. And if
Did he see the print and realize what the lighting was?
I sent
Or
him
is he just
the
guessing?
latest print, yes.
Because we're not adding a whole lot more lighting, and it's certainly not encroaching on
Does it,
any
does
residents.
it go by like wattage or
It has to
number
be
of heads?
downlight, dark
Well,
skylight.
yeah, that's always the principle, right? But I mean, you've got that, so
Yeah,
I'm just not sure. I've gotta catch him at some point to set up a meeting, and I would let you know. You can probably come along and
Aren't some of our heads on the back gonna be dual, one down,
Yep.
one out?
all 8 of them are gonna have floodlights aiming back into the park.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure,
Yeah,
Eddie.
is that gonna like create a situation where we have people, when you're on the field and you're gonna get this light like shining right at you, or maybe even hitting the cars on Route 32?
No, if anything, it has to aim down, so it's just gonna,
Okay.
be on the apron.
All right, if
There's
it's aiming down,
spotlights,
that's fine.
Yeah, there's spotlights, but they'll be aimed, lower, they won't be 90 degrees, they'll be like 60 degrees or so.
All right, that's all. That was my only question. Thank you.
Yep, which maybe that's,
And I think that that's something that might have to be explained to them, because I'm not quite sure exactly what he means. by
Yeah, I
that.
have to understand what is not compliant with.
You might be thinking we're trying to light the soccer field or something.
He may be thinking of the type that they have at larger venues where you.
Right.
Way up with.
real sports lighting, we're not
multiple,
doing
yeah, big
that.
lights.
Or even like our own basketball lights down there. Those are different than what we're putting in, correct?
The same thing, essentially.
Basketball light,
We're putting in the lights that are in the parking lot.
not the ones that light the court.
The court ones spread a little bit more light and they're bright,
They're pretty bright. I came by them tonight on the way here.
pretty nice.
A lot different than the parking lot lights.
They are. So that you're gonna kind of get the parking lot lights around the back and then some floods aimed back in.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that kind of strength that you have is gonna reach Route 32.
Got it.
Especially from the west end, and then the ones on the north side, they're gonna be pointing southward.
Yep.
And that's, it's certainly not gonna disturb 84 there, so.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem at
Are
all.
those adjustable after the fact?
Well, the shoe boxes really aren't, but the floods are.
You can rotate that.
Yes. You want a ladder, I'll hold it.
Well, I was gonna say, there'd be three of us stand on the shoulders, but I'm just wondering if later if we decide, hey, let's crank them down, you know.
Yes, that's absolutely, yeah, it can happen.
Interesting to see though, what's not in compliance, if anything is. So if you go for a variance, you gotta come up with a hardship as to why you have to do it this way, you can't.
I'm hoping that the variance is just a suggestion,
It
and
depends
then
on,
once he sees what we're doing,
depends on who approves the variance, it's him.
Zoning Board of Appeals.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay.
are you on that? All right, we're all set.
I have to recuse myself.
Hopefully this time.
Okay, so the other thing was the wetland issue. And he said, well, the wetland upland review aren't on the plan. And I didn't have any on the plan because I don't know of any wetlands near the areas that we're working on. He says, from looking at our GIS, it seems as though a portion of this work, including the proposed discharge, will be within a regulated area. So a permit from the Wetland Commission would be required. So I want some feedback on that as well, because I don't see where the wetlands are in close proximity to what we're doing.
Okay.
And I've checked the area where I'm gonna outlet the footing drains, or curtain drains. And there's literally nothing on the ground, because in that area, again, it's like the soccer fields to the north of us. I designed some soccer fields for the Northeast United Soccer, I guess it's called. The drainage goes to a spot and then just literally goes down into the ground. You've got 40 feet of gravel under there.
Right, in the back corner?
Yeah, so there's no outflow, there's no stream going out. And it's
Okay.
the same situation here that we have at the southwest corner of the site. And I went out there to check it one more time, there's just no sign of ponding or anything in that area. If it is, it's temporary during the rainstorm.
Don't they go by soil type too, though?
Oh, yeah, exactly, that's why I say that you've got 40, well, in some spots you have even deep, 40 to 60 feet of gravel underneath.
So their map might show something different than what.
That's exactly, yeah, I just have to catch but Evelyn, the assistant that he has, had indicated there are no wetlands nearby, so that wouldn't be an issue, but then when Mike looked at it, he thought there might be one, so we'll follow up on that, but things are under on this.
That would be up to us, not the contractor, to permit that and or get that variance or
No, that's up to us.
that's up to
When
us.
the contractor comes along, you want him to be free and clear.
Ready to go.
I don't do that, yeah. So we'll do that, I'll follow up on that.
All right, terrific.
What else?
Hmm.
What else?
Oh, that's about it. Like I said, I took a look at the batting cage. And I think we can work around that. As long as we take the netting off and we can leave the concrete, the sauna
Yeah.
tubes in place. The only thing is, the gym though, it has to be changed. And I'm not sure, Jim, if you had a chance to see if there was anything at all in the file of when that was constructed, because I'd like to see what needs to be done and if anything can be salvaged.
So I have purchase orders from when it was purchased.
Mhm.
I haven't seen anything describing how they got into the ground.
Okay. Does anybody know?
No, Bill Billyak maybe. Billy, do you know anything about the gym? Was that your guys that put that in the ground? At River Road?
Not the gym, the playscape.
Okay.
Yeah, not when you say the gym, you mean the fitness stuff?
Yeah, the outdoor equipment.
Yeah, no, it was just the swing set area.
Okay. So,
So
I don't
we really
either.
have nothing. Because that's the one spot we're gonna have to put in the curtain drain and bring the field up a little bit.
Are you thinking you can save the sonotubes?
I'm not sure. That's why I'm wondering how it was constructed. I don't know. Nothing shows on top of the ground like it does for the batting cage. Batting cage, you can tell. You see the circular, structure.
It's just covered with wood chips, can we scrape down, 6 inches and find the bolts? It's probably just bolted to, it probably just had bolts set in the concrete.
If that's the case, yeah, I
maybe Public Works can take a peek?
We may have to just pour new sonotubes, and although we'll need the dimensions for the bolts.
Yeah, I would put it in a different place, just because you don't wanna hit the same thing, where you're at now, unless it works out, but I don't think it's going to, because that's probably one of the worst ponding areas. If you walk by it during a rainstorm, slightly after, so, I mean, you walked that a lot
That
of times.
side is difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
It freezes up in the winter too.
Do you have a spot on the print where you think it would go?
yeah, just, I mean, up north of the current site.
Okay.
As long, and the thing is that there's room enough there. I actually had it in one spot, it can literally slide from the ball field all the way down to where it is now, somewhere in that, rectangular corridor. And I've shown on the plan, the pickleball courts. If you want, you know, there's room to put 2 pickleball courts, and a bocce court would fit in back of the basketball court area as well. There's room between that and the baseball field.
Okay.
We're gonna lose the bocce court?
No, he's just saying that there could be another one if you wanted.
Do we have
Yeah,
in your papers?
there's room enough for friends.
Of the, I can take a look back. in the
We don't have a
office.
blueprint of the exercise equipment, should we just do some measurements so that we know how far apart each piece is? If it's.
Yeah, when the time comes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just take some pictures, just put some
Yeah,
measurements
put
on it.
some dimensions on it, and then we can just move it.
I mean, the more information we have and can put on a plan or on a sheet somewhere, the better for the contractor. We want to do everything we can to keep that cost down. So the information helps, obviously.
Bet they just get a big excavator and
But that's too easy.
that would be great if it worked that way. They could pick it up concrete and all
Yeah, but you'd never get it back in,
the same way. Okay,
maybe.
yeah, you're probably right. All right,
Would you indulge me and just go through the steps we need to go through at this point to get to a permitting or an RFP? a position for
construction,
an
you mean?
RFP?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do we need to do?
Well, we need to get the permitting done. That's number one at this point.
Okay,
And then after that, we put together a set of contract documents. Similar to what we've done. We've done several different sets of contract documents at the area, you know, over the years. I mean, my plan for the lighting especially, I'm on revision number 22, so, we've done quite a bit, and so we have some documents with technical specs in them, and,
I'm confused, why so many revisions for the lighting,
not for the
That's
lighting, for the
everything.
entire field.
everything?
Yeah, this, on the plan that I've used for the lighting, I put everything else in gray shade, but just, emphasize the lighting locations so we can see them, but the plan itself has been used so many times for different things, different fields, the pavilion, whatever we needed to put up, and, each time we had to go to a commission meeting. Hence the,
for approval.
yeah, we started in, the late 90s, you know, and, we're just,
What's open-ended at this point, anything, other than what we discussed tonight, the lighting,
for the lighting, and of course, the
exercise area?
yeah, the regrading of the, area down to the south, those two
Right.
things, yeah.
Did we
And then-
discuss the, what do you call those things?
Drainage.
The barriers, the wood,
Oh,
did we discuss that tonight, the wood guardrails?
along the parking lot.
Yeah, well, the
We were
ones
gonna
that,
lose some,
the ones that are going to be, or the ones that are along the current edge of parking lot, they have to come out. Cause we've got to do some regrading there. And I think we talked about one other time that they're going to be new posts put in.
same, whatever, just.
But the same,
So
yeah, same type of
Okay.
post, yeah,
that becomes part of the RFP.
yes, it does.
Are we gonna do anything with the track, like put more gravel down, or is it, we're not gonna touch that?
We
So
did
the-
that.
Well, the track has to be
Where
completely.
you're-
It's
where
taken
you're-
apart in some places.
Where you're dealing with it, it's all gonna be new
Yes,
gravel.
yeah, so from the end of the baseball field, you come around to, I think it's the basketball court or the volleyball court, all of that has to come up. Hence, everything that's there has to come out, and we're gonna have a whole new track for that particular area.
What's down there, stone dust? It's very fine,
Yes, well, the stone dust is the top course.
yeah,
Underneath you have gravel, then a processed aggregate, and then on top of that you have the stone dust. And it's a hard surface, that's why you have to process aggregate.
it's really easy to walk on, it's really nice.
That's what the stone dust
Yeah,
is for.
very
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
So are we putting new over here and leaving the old over here, or are we gonna bring everything look the same when you're done?
No, we only have enough money, I think, to tie in at those two spots.
But I think we put some stone dust down not too long ago.
Yeah,
didn't we?
that
A
one.
few years ago, so it's relatively new.
Well, there are some areas that need, constant maintenance, and then you'll have to put something down. I mean, along the west side, the west side of the baseball field and the soccer field, you've got some low spots from time to time. Those could be filled in with a little bit of extra stone dust, and if it's really deep, you put a little more processed underneath first.
Okay.
So that's just, maintenance is never gonna go away, so. And I noticed also there was a part of the netting, I think it was about a week and a half ago, part of the netting on the west side came down.
Yeah, the
So
cable
that
broke,
has to be put back up.
the cable broke.
Yeah, I took a look at it and I was hoping to put it, but then I noticed that the cable broke. My thought was maybe when Joe's crews come to put the lights up, are you gonna have one of those bucket things?
Whoever does it will have a bucket, we could do it at that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was I'm scared of heights, so I don't wanna go up there with a ladder.
Bring them up there in the bucket then.
It's easier in the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't throw a ladder up there, that's crazy. I think that, yes, when it comes time and the pole lights are put up, we should be able to get that fixed.
What's your timeline at this point?
It's gonna be determined by getting a meeting going with Mike and or Evelyn, the zoning agents here.
He's pretty accessible though, Mike is.
Uh,
No, I thought he was.
Well,
Okay,
last week I asked him to give me a call by phone and it ended up being by email, so. It's a little tough because he works in another town as well.
he does, that's right,
Yeah.
he does.
Does he have any regular hours here? No?
Normally Mondays, but I think
He was out today.
he's out, I think he's coming in tomorrow. I think I heard that upstairs.
So I'll give him a call.
Yeah, I'm not around tomorrow, but if you have a meeting with him and he needs specs,
Well, you sent some specs to me, which I can go over with him, but if need be, I'll let you know when the meeting is so that, if you're available.
yeah, anything to get it promoted.
Yeah, just ask him what standards are we violating?
That's just it. I'm not sure. I don't think he necessarily has the information to make that decision, right now, so.
So you need Mike, you need wetlands, and you need planning and zoning, you said too?
Do not need planning and zoning, but may need a variance from zoning regulations.
For the lights,
For the
if,
Because of the lighting.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna need that. I
Said
think
you need a
he's,
permit for the wetlands,
Well, that's what he's saying here, but I'm not sure where
Possibly.
where the wetlands are.
possible.
Carl doesn't think there's wetlands there.
I don't know which ones he's talking about because Evelyn had taken a look at the plans and said there was nothing in that area, so wetlands were out. Mike says they're in, so I wanna know where.
And who would permit that? P and Z, who would permit that? Wetlands?
Wetlands, wetland commission, yeah.
Okay,
But hopefully that doesn't have to happen.
just one more step.
But Mike's the important guy.
He is, yeah.
Okay,
I'm assuming he's the one that makes the final recommendation to the commissions, so that's where I've got to catch, I gotta find out. If it's absolutely necessary.
okay. If you're here tomorrow and you see him, lean on him.
And I'll give him a call too.
Perfect.
Good, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Carl, for helping us out with this, presenting it. It's helpful. All right, do we have any new business? Ed, Billy, new business?
Nothing here.
Shall we adjourn? It's gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Like a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
There you go.
All right.
All right, bye, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Careful.
Hey, no fooling around in here, Carl.
I don't